Welcome to another episode of Banks and Blockchain. I'm so glad to be hosting you today. My name is Olubunmi Fabanwo, and this is Banks and Blockchain, proudly brought to you by CNETv. This program is expected, or the plan for this program is to be able to educate and inform people about blockchain technology, and most especially its application in financial services when it comes to the continent of Africa. Last week, we went directly to Blockchain 101, knowing the basics. So we taught you everything from the beginning to the middle, of course, and we are going to finish up on that episode today. So last week, remember that we took you all around the world of blockchain into the introduction. Then we spoke about the types of blockchain being public and private, and we gave different analogies to break this down. If you did not watch last week's episode, I promise you that you've already missed a whole lot. So you can go to the CNETv YouTube channel, look for Banks and Blockchain, and you can watch that episode all over again. But then we have to move on with or without you. We spoke about the concepts of blockchain, the major things that you should note when you are thinking about blockchain technology. And today we'll be looking at the applications, the use cases, some of the disadvantages, and a few things that may also be very important, which also includes how you can invest in blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, we are going to touch on that, and a few other things. Please, let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we go into today's subject. Please stay tuned. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of many series of our banking and blockchain program. My name is Olubunmi, and I'll be your host. This series is proudly brought to you by CNETv, and we'll be having it every Thursday, 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Banking has experienced significant growth and development over the last few decades. We'll be looking at a lot of topics, and we'll be bringing in experts from all around the world to discuss how blockchain can be applied to banking, use cases that can be used for blockchain in banking. Now, first, blockchain is not a cryptocurrency. Blockchain and Bitcoin are two different things. Blockchain is a technology, Bitcoin or every other cryptocurrencies are currencies. These currencies are built on blockchain technology. Today we are going to be discussing more, we are going to be delving more into financial services. Why is blockchain not mainstream in Africa? Why are financial services companies and banks in Africa not using blockchain as much as we've spoken about the applications and the use cases? And here I have a very amazing person. When you hear about BTC King, that is the man, that's D. Duncan. But generally, what do you think the challenges are? Because it's expected that such a technology that carries such power and can give us such a huge solution to a lot of our problems is not mainstream yet, like it's not being used. So what are the challenges that you see to it being mainstream?
Remove the fear, right? Lean into the technology from an understanding component. Really take time to sink your teeth,
Welcome back, viewers. Banks and Blockchain, Olubunmi Fabanwo, CNETv. So basically we'll be doing another episode of our Blockchain 101. That's the concluding episode. And here, we'll just go directly to the use cases, which is where we stopped from last week. So I'll be giving you practical uses and practical application of blockchain technology, things that are already happening around you, which you might not necessarily know about or attribute to blockchain technology. So the first and the most popular use case of blockchain technology is cryptocurrency. I'm sure that no matter what rock under which you are right now, you must have heard of cryptocurrencies. And if you don't know what cryptocurrencies are, example is Bitcoin. So I'm sure that somebody somewhere or everybody must know what Bitcoin is. So the first application of blockchain is to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So a lot of these cryptocurrencies that you have, Ethereum, Solana, recently Wakanda Inu, Shiba Inu, all these tokens and currencies are all built on blockchain technology. So that's one use case. I would not waste so much time on all these use cases so that we save a lot of time. The next one is smart contracts. So the same way it sounds, smart contracts are basically self-executing types of contracts between person A and person B. That's a buyer and a seller, which is executed on a line of code. So you do not need any human intervention when you're executing smart contracts. So basically what this does is that there will already be a line of code. So whenever different scenarios happen, a buyer is able to release content or value to the seller, and money is released from the seller to the buyer. An example of that, a practical example of what smart contracts are, can be seen in a very funny one. Your will. Say, for example, God forbid anybody passes on and you have so many landed property and you have all these things, and you have maybe like 7 or 8 children, as the case may be, and that's something that you usually find in Africa. You would not need the help of any lawyer to be able to execute your will. So all you need to do is just have imputed all this information. So if you want land in maybe Nairobi to go to child A, you already put it on the blockchain, so that as soon as you pass on, this contract is immediately executed. So all of the land documents, everything is transferred directly to the child that you've imputed. Can't you see that this is very great? So that's just one of the examples of smart contracts, which I'm sure that it is very relatable, but people do not want to really think about that. So I find it very funny. The next one is cross-border payments. So as of today, you find out that it costs a whole lot of money to be able to transfer funds from one country to another. And it's even harder if you're transferring within Africa. You can imagine that it is very difficult to be able to transfer money from, say, Ghana to Gambia. It's even easier for you to transfer from Ghana to the US compared to transferring from Ghana to Gambia. So that is a very huge challenge. And people, I mean, there are trades that go on between persons within these countries. So definitely we need a solution that allows us to be able to trade relentlessly and smoothly with different countries. So in terms of cross-border payments, blockchain, remember that we said that it eliminates the middleman. So there is no SWIFT, there is nobody that is in the middle to take so much fees. So for cross-border payments, you can just move money from your bank account, your wallet, for example, to somebody in another country. Say you want to move USD from Nigeria to maybe China or the US. It's very easy and it's faster. I mean, the platform which is being done is very fast. Transfer gets to the person in less than 30 seconds, and it's even cheaper. So for example, right now, you're probably paying 0.5% of your principal to be able to transfer funds from Nigeria, I'm sure of Nigeria, to the US. Blockchain, or the platform on which blockchain is used for cross-border payment, we do it in less than 50% of that. So that's about 0.25%. The next one is video games, arts, and NFTs. So one of the other use cases of smart contracts is also in video games. So you find out that now there are so many video games that are built on the blockchain, and these video games, the characters, for example, have what we call the NFT items. So a character in a video game can still be saved, be purchased on the platform, be saved, then transferred to an NFT platform where I can sell it. So if, for example, my name is Babs I name my character Babs on a particular video game on the blockchain, I can easily take a shot of Babs or take the character and still sell it at NFT. So it's very, very scarce and it's rare because it's only applicable to me. Then I can sell it as a non-fungible token because only I have access to it, but then I can sell my access to other people. When we speak about NFTs sometime later, we'll get more views on that. So supply chain and logistic tracking. So many companies like DHL and big shipping companies are already using blockchain technology for in terms of supply chain tracking and logistics tracking. So it means that if I'm bringing something from, say, South Africa, or I'm shipping from China, what blockchain does for me is it lets me know exactly where my parcel or my container is, the exact location. So I know everything. I have the documentation probably in my email, or I can see it, I can view the documentation on the blockchain. So blockchain makes it easier, it makes it democratic, it makes it decentralized such that the people involved in a contract or in a transaction can clearly see all the information that has to do with that transaction. And that's one of the examples I've given to you. The other one is healthcare, which I believe that we spoke about that's healthcare process optimization. So for example, I have, God forbid, you are diagnosed with a particular ailment and you are being treated in Nigeria, then the Nigerian doctor says, oh no, we can't treat you, we have to move you to another country. All you need to have done is that your information, everything that has to do with your diagnosis, the drugs you need to use, every treatment that has been done on you for that period of time is already on the blockchain. So the information is provided in a place where a private key is only able to access it. So only you and authorized medical practitioners have access to that information. So whether you travel to anywhere in the world, you go to, you go anywhere in the world, you go to South Korea for treatment, or China for treatment, or India for treatment, anybody can just log on, give them the private key to be able to access your information, and all they need to do is just pick up from there. So it saves you a whole lot of errors, medical errors that could have been done, or wrong medical diagnosis. So we need to just pick up whoever it is has already stopped and continue treatment from there. You see that that's a very amazing feature or application to healthcare. Real estate processing platform. So a country like Georgia is already applying blockchain technology to their real estate. Please let me go on a very, very quick water break, and when I come back, I'm going to tell you about more of what Georgia is currently doing in the real estate space. So please stay tuned. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of many series of our banking and blockchain program. My name is Olubumi, and I'll be your host. This series is proudly brought to you by CNETv, and we'll be having it every Thursday, 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Banking has experienced. Welcome back, people. I hope that you're already enjoying our episode for today. So we've been speaking about the use cases of blockchain technology, and we stopped at where blockchain is applicable to real estate. So a country like Georgia now is applying blockchain technology to their land registry. So, for example, in a country like Nigeria or some African countries where people purchase landed property and do not get their land registry documents from the government, or get some of it, which can be tampered with by government officials. And we know that this is the truth. These are things that happen currently in countries in Africa. So how blockchain comes in is such that because it is immutable, it is unchangeable, information that are put on the blockchain cannot be changed. So that means that if a particular landed property has been registered to me, it cannot be changed. And if anyone tries to change it, everybody is informed about it. So everybody knows exactly what is going on the blockchain. In terms of insurance, which is another very special use case, I know that AXA Mansard is already making use of this in certain countries, such that because you pay travel insurance, so a particular flight should not delay more than a certain period of time, say maybe 45 minutes. So once is more than 45 minutes, then your travel insurance is supposed to be credited back to you, because what exactly are you insuring when you are delaying my flight and causing me so much headache and havoc? So in the case where you have more than 45 minutes delay, your travel insurance is automatically paid directly into your account. So this just shows that the system is already decentralized and the system is already smart. So this is like an application of smart contracts. The next one is personal identity security. So because again, the blockchain is immutable, it's unchangeable, so I can as well just go into the system and input my information, my picture, my address, and my occupation and everything, maybe in a national identity hub, and it remains unchanged except except I'm given access to change that information. So nobody can defraud anyone in terms of stealing their identity. I think that's a very, very key advantage of blockchain technology to us as it stands now. Those are the major applications that I thought that we could talk about now. So the next thing that we'll be talking about are disadvantages. So we know that we say that to every advantage or to everything, there are advantages and disadvantages. So let's quickly just touch on the disadvantages apparently of blockchain technology. So the first one is environmental impact. So and this is specific to Bitcoin mining or cryptocurrency mining. And I would like to say categorically that I'm not in full, I would not wholesomely accept this as a disadvantage, but then it's important that we speak about it still. So Bitcoin mining, or Bitcoin is usually mined in Bitcoin mining hubs, and these hubs cause environmental havoc, or say they take a lot of electricity, they use a lot of electricity, and then in turn they are environmentally not fine or not okay for the environment in terms of sustainability and what have you. So a lot of this, when it comes to Bitcoin mining, you find out that people use supercomputers to be able to solve mathematical problems and to be able to generate certain amount of that 6.25 BTC. And this process is it takes a lot of electricity, and it also helps or assists in diminishing our ozone layer, which in turn still causes global warming and all of that. But if you look at it in the real sense of it, this is only a very, very little percentage. As much as the environmental impact is there, compared to maybe gold mining, it is very, very little. So gold mining probably takes more electricity and more power than Bitcoin mining, maybe 1,000 times more. So I think generally we can decide to take some of all these subjects as a whole and say that how do we solve the problem, rather than isolating blockchain or Bitcoin mining as a sole disaster causing elements to our environment. And the next thing is personal responsibility. So you know that blockchain already eliminates the middleman. So for example, say banks or financial institutions that usually hold responsible for our data and our financial data and our own personal data, they are no longer going to be there. So basically, the money in your wallet, maybe for example your cryptocurrency, say your Ethereum, the money in your wallet is your own sole responsibility. So if you decide to give out your private key or your PIN or whatever security feature is on your wallet, then that's your own private, that's your own problem. I mean, that's your own challenge, and that's where personal responsibility comes in. So what blockchain literally does is transfer responsibility to you. It gives you utmost responsibility of safeguarding your own information and your money. where banks used to be the ones that were in charge of that. The next one is scalability. So we see that once more people get on a particular blockchain, the power begins to slow down. I mean, the rate at which it works begins to slow down, and this may be one of the disadvantages. So we begin to look at how much the blockchain can actually really take in terms of numbers, in terms of scaling, in terms of adding more applications on it. Then lastly is the false narratives that we have around it, and this is especially for cryptocurrency. There has been so much false narratives about cryptocurrency, even from authorities in governments in different countries, saying that it's used for money laundering and all of that, which in fact it is very true due to the anonymity of the owners. So most of the time the owners are usually anonymous, and they're only identifiable by certain wallet addresses and numbers. And this may be said to be one of the disadvantages of cryptocurrency and, of course, blockchain technology. But then if you look at it, the sole contributor to a lot of all these illicit activities is fiat currencies. So over time, we've been able to use fiat currencies for illicit activities like money laundering, like human trafficking, women trafficking, child trafficking, and all of that. If you look at the majority of the funds that have been used is through fiat currency. So it just tells you that this is not a disadvantage to cryptocurrency, a disadvantage to money in itself. So money can be used for good, and it can also be used for bad. So next, we are done with disadvantages, which I said are not major disadvantages. I said that these can also be advantages for us. So next, we'll be looking at how exactly can I invest in crypto in blockchain technology. The first way and the most popular way to invest is to buy or to trade cryptocurrency. So you can go ahead to purchase the ones that have real value and real use cases. I would always advise. So you can go ahead, you can buy, and there are people that can teach you how to trade cryptocurrencies. There are people that do that. You can go on YouTube, you can watch tutorials, learn how to trade cryptocurrency. I mean, cryptocurrency has made people a fortune. It has over time made people generational wealth, such that I know of a 29-year-old that has already retired at that very young age because he was able to make so much money from trading cryptocurrency, and it has made a lot of people very rich and wealthy. The next way you can invest in blockchain technology is by buying shares in companies using blockchain. So there are various applications that allow you to be able to buy shares of companies, not only in Africa but Western countries. That's companies in Western countries that you can buy or own shares in those countries. You can use different applications like RiseVerse, I think, Bamboo. There are several applications on your app store. You can just Google, check for where you can buy shares of companies that use blockchain. Because blockchain it's a revolutionary technology. So companies that use blockchain at the moment are very, very valuable. So indeed, you can buy shares and also make a lot of money from your investments. You can also invest in crypto exchange traded funds, that's ETFs. The same place, you can just go online and check for these things. These are very key places to invest in because the value will always increase because of the fact that it's an evolving type of technology and a revolutionary one. We can also invest in, remember I spoke about crypto mining, that's cryptocurrency mining. So you can invest in companies that mine cryptocurrencies such as Riot, Hive, and Marathon. So I believe that those are the ways that you can invest in blockchain technology, and I'm sure that you can people make a fortune out of these very few things that I've spoken about. And with this, we'll be coming to an end of this episode where we've spoken about blockchain and all the basics. I believe I've covered most of the things that you need to know. So going forward, we will now be speaking about most of the technicalities that have to do with blockchain technology. We may just be tracking back a little because we've looked at it generally. We've seen what blockchain in itself is awesomely, and I'm glad that people have stayed tuned to listen to this. So on a closing note, I think I wrote something very, very nice. So blockchain is the technology. Bitcoin is merely the first mainstream manifestation of its potential. So people are always comparing, are always mistaking Bitcoin for blockchain. But then I think that I've been able to enumerate and let you know that they are two different things. So blockchain is a technology, while Bitcoin is just the first mainstream manifestation of its potential. And I've already told you about many other potentials that you can have. Many other manifestations that you can have, that's in terms of application. On that note, we'll just be closing today's show. Thank you very much for staying tuned to Banks and Blockchain. And I'm sure that next week we are going to bring in a very, very fantastic guest who will be speaking to us about another use case. We'll be going now into security and data privacy, which are very, very key things to speak about in terms when you are speaking about blockchain technology. So thank you very much for listening on the 2 episodes where we've broken down blockchain into very, very simple languages. My name remains Olubunmi Fabanwo. Please follow us, follow CNETv, follow Olubunmi Fabanwo on social media handles. You can watch this on YouTube. You can download the CNETv app to stay tuned to other programs, other educating programs, and other enlightening programs that we are going to be bringing to you. And I'll be seeing you on the next episode of Banks and Blockchain. Please enjoy your day and have a great weekend.